Okay, be real. Are you here for book guy? Because I'm here for book guy.
Who else am I here for? Is that even a question? Like,
I'm still just reeling that he's not dead. Like, he lived.
turns out
I mean,
Biblio Detective is the strongest plot armor.
I'm just I'm so glad he didn't just like cack it on episode one. Well, the first episode that he was introduced in, not episode one, obviously. We're at
Episode
episode 8,
1 of the book guy arc.
the book guy arc. Amazingly, this is exactly what I would have expected and exactly not what I would have expected for this show to finally kick itself into gear a little. Okay, we've had enough just sort of doing absolutely nothing for episodes. Now it's time to finally. And all things considered, I don't even really know why they needed all the time they did to get themselves into gear. I can get like needing 1 or 2 episodes to maybe like set the mood and the characters and the world and that stuff, but it's still a little too much, especially when you've got like pretty
Yeah,
much
like
every single plot point that has been arising at this point
yeah, the
at your disposal.
with the detective and the episode with that kid were completely redundant. You only needed one of them,
Mm,
and it probably was the kid one.
just so you can see a maid like sever a guy's jaw.
Hey, look, more new characters. Just what the series needed. They look like they're from a completely different series.
God, you're right. Like I can't tell if it's from space, the future, the past, or
It's the future space past.
soul. Hang in there, book dude. Like I think this is the fastest I've ever seen Madlax do something in an episode.
Yeah, like normally it's like minute 15 before she actually does a thing. It's at war. What we were expecting. The war in this country is like the only news in the world.
Like how friggin' spoiled are you that you were just on a beach in this world toward country with bikini girls? Yeah. Can't help but feel sorry for this country though. It seems like their only choices are imperialism or Cthulhu for their leading government.
I don't know. That seems like a pretty clear choice to me.
Empty. Woo! You can tell it's future tech because of that.
Because totally unnecessary user interface elements.
The Jurassic Park theory of programming design.
Another connection.
Pasta.
She's actually Madlax.
Now, if only Margaret's just playing with guns in her spare time.
Think about it. You've never seen them in the same place at the same time.
Oh. Unless, you turn on the news.
Or listen to anybody talk about anything ever.
Come to think what is the connection between these two? Because I thought he was in anime France and she was a general in the army, so how come they've been showing up together a lot?
Well, in the last episode, he's got some connection with the old god book.
Phantom of the Opera, good dude. Because she's been great against Madlax so far.
0 for 2.
Later, dude.
Remember how the first thing you said to me was that I was a little girl?
Well, sleep in the trunk, loser.
Ladies, am I right?
Like when you're fleeing for the law, they just take your car. Now I know why I decided to be a book detective.
So I didn't have to talk to girls.
Come on, dude. Like, don't set yourself up like this. Like, you can maybe make it to a third episode. Surprised he's still got his fancy jacket on, all things considered.
They've got to commit.
All three of them just explode upon hearing that name.
Just turn to fishmen.
Now let's just bust out the windpipes.
Now she's a little bit brown. That's why you know she's exotic and different. Gotta change the music track to reflect that.
Mm.
Just a little bit brown though, not too much.
Just like a tea stained. Quinzita Marison.
Those two names sound like they go together.
Just a little girl talk about Cthulhu. Have some snackers, kids. Nope.
Well, this
Smiles.
was a good use of time.
If I do, my tongue would turn into a snake. So no. All I'm just hearing is that it sucks.
Yeah,
Sucks.
pretty much.
Please stop. This is a serious scene. Come on, idiot. Go look at it. Go look at the wall painting. All things considered, this lady's kind of a douche. She just tricks a guy into saying sucks, sucks over again and then just takes him to see the evil wall painting.
Though if I knew a language no one else did, I'd just use that knowledge to trick people into saying dumb stuff too.
They all have fedoras. Did Madlax just like wire some fuel bombs in the.
I guess, yeah.
Well, that guy was a dick.
Like, the one thing I don't understand about this series is how like bloodless it is. That's not to say that like, it needs to be hyper ultra violent, but like the fact that we are like we are watching people get shot on screen and they're just like falling over and pratfalling, like it's super goofy, and I don't understand why they would, make a series that is ostensibly about war and shows combat but doesn't want to commit to the violence.
I guess that is kind of a weird stylistic choice in this one, especially. I'm not sure if this was worse or better than Noir when you had like people who were like literally pretty much getting stabbed in the head with sunglasses and having not a scratch on them.
Like, this doesn't need to be Black Lagoon, but
Mm,
on the same thing, the fight should look like they're not taking place with like squirt guns.
Scooby Doo physics. Man,
Like, it's one thing if they want to do stuff like that and have it happen off camera, but like they're showing people get shot,
mm.
and it's just they just slump over or fall backwards. Like, it's super goofy. Good job, you summoned the old gods now.
Hey, bro, you're super dead. Eating human souls. Of course, the old gods would be tiny anime kids.
They can take whatever form you want.
The ones that are most horrific to you.
We took the form that we thought would be most disturbing to the lowly.
Yeah, this is how the brain works.
I will trust everything you say and not get a second opinion. Twice or thrice.
Just let him live the life of an innocent biblio detective.
Society doesn't trouble biblio detectives. Why are there so many pompadours in this series?
I guess a way to make it look timeless?
Like, we want to talk about odd stylistic choices. The fact that we're like 3 pompadours in one series that isn't Cromartie High.
Okay, but in all fairness, this whole thing is kind of cool. And he shaved his pomp and shame. That was worse than seeing my high school photo.
I just fought the entire army. I hope you finished your job.
Or have you just been hanging out with more bikini chicks?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Oh, cool. Well, she's cute. Oh, dude, you put cologne on this?
Because the great one Zelatath told it to me.
Who just happens to be a pink-haired anime girl. Are you like one of those people who I hear about that don't go to puberty until they're like 25? Oh, I'm so bored. Yeah, I probably shouldn't had this conversation right next to a cliff.
She's real broken up about losing the Biblio Detective. Sadly, we don't get episode 3 of Bookman.
We'll have to press on somehow. It does suck.
I agree. He was the hero we needed.
We salute you. We'll go on. We'll honor your sacrifice. What the heck happened here? Maybe I should have put a stamp on it. Oh, well.
They'll get there eventually. They'll figure it out. That's how mail works, right?
Hmm.
Good news that the password to his Dropbox is just 123456. So, we don't need him alive. Oh, he lied. It wasn't a guy. It was a lady.
This is a really important. I can still taste his death. Well, kid, you just got a whole lot creepier in 2 seconds.
Hey, I shot those guys real good.
Hey, he killed himself. Don't pin that on me. It was my fault that I just turned my back on him for 5 seconds and he walked into the evil cave. The world is a darker place without you, bibliophile detective. Well,
So
once
eight
again,
episodes in, and it's finally starting to pick up in meaningful ways. It feels.
yeah, definitely. Like, now we kind of have a reason that Enfant actually wants involvement with either of our two female protagonists. We've got a reason why said two female protagonists have any sort of remote connection to each other. We sort of have an idea that we always suspected that something really, really weird might be making this evil country tick. And there are people who are going nuts.
Yeah, It took like 3 episodes too long to get here, but we're finally at a part where you know, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it feels like the series starting to hit a bit of a stride.
Like it's getting to the point where I am like sitting down to record these and being all like, yeah, I am legit interested to see where this goes.
And if you've noticed, we've been getting a bit quieter as things are going on. That's because we're actually kind of paying attention. Because
Because
there's
we
things to
actually have,
pay attention to.
instead of just making fun of pompadours and sucks. I saw a maid outfit hit the floor. Perhaps we spoke too soon. I also saw a little girl glowing red. And now I see a naked lady. God, I don't know where it's gonna go from here. Oh, God.